Here is the next installment of our herbal and fungal diary featuring the squad, the jugglers, the clean eaters, and the sci-fi skeptics. My hormones are a rock band. Estrogen is the lead singer with a penchant for smashing guitars. Testosterone is the drummer who plays too loud. Cortisol is the manager screaming about deadlines. I was living in a constant state of noise. I needed security. I needed the plant squad. I introduced Vitex, Maca, and Shatavari to the green room. They walked in wearing sunglasses and earpieces. They didn't stop the show, they just fixed the acoustics. Lower the treble on the anxiety, Vitex commanded. Bring up the bass on the calm, Maca added. They moderate the mood swings with professional efficiency. Now, instead of a chaotic riot, my internal concert is a smooth acoustic set. I can finally hear myself think over the music, and honestly, the band sounds much better when they aren't destroying the hotel room of my mind. I tried to juggle my life once. I had balls labeled work, health, and social life in the air. I dropped all of them on my foot. I realized I am not a juggler. I am a person who stands still and panics. I needed a circus act that knew what it was doing. I needed adaptogenic mushrooms. Reishi, Cordyceps, and Chugga entered the ring. Pass me the deadlines, Cordyceps shouted, tossing them effortlessly to Reishi. I'll take the existential dread, Chugga volunteered, spinning it on one finger. They juggle the stress so I don't have to. I sit in the front row of my own life, eating popcorn, watching these fungal multitaskers handle the chaos with grace. I am no longer part of the act. I am simply the audience. And it is a relief to know that someone else is keeping the plates spinning. My digestive tract is an exclusive club with a very specific do not admit list. Gluten, banned for bad behavior. Dairy, permanently exiled. Soy, on probation. Trying to find a supplement felt like trying to sneak a fake ID past a bouncer. I needed a portfolio that was squeaky clean. I needed allergen-free. Finding that free from label felt like getting a VIP wristband. Right this way, my stomach said, opening the velvet rope for the pea protein. No gastrointestinal guest stars tonight. I drank the shake with zero fear. There was no bloating, no surprise cameo from an upset tummy. It was just pure, unadulterated gains. It's the peace of mind that comes from knowing the only thing inflating is my muscle mass, not my midsection. I have enough guilt. I feel guilty about not calling my mum enough. I feel guilty about that one time I wore socks with sandals in 2008. I didn't need to add eating pesticides to the list. I needed assurance. I needed the green stamp. The organic seal on the bottle looked at me with kind eyes. It's okay, it whispered. No sketchy stuff here. It was a permission slip to relax. I swallowed the capsule knowing it hadn't been bathed in chemicals I couldn't pronounce. It felt clean. It felt virtuous. It felt like I was high-fiving Mother Nature. Supplementing guilt-free is a rare luxury, and knowing that at least one part of my life is certified pure makes me feel slightly better about the socks and sandals incident. I watch too many movies. I have an irrational fear that if I eat a genetically modified tomato, I might wake up with superpowers I didn't ask for, like the ability to communicate with salad dressings. I like my food boring. I like my DNA predictable. I needed the non-GMO butterfly. Seeing that verification mark was like reading the spoilers and finding out the movie has a happy ending. No sci-fi plot twists here, the bottle promised. Just plants being plants. I felt a wave of relief. My supplements weren't part of an experiment. They were just breakfast. I could take my vitamins without worrying that I was accidentally auditioning for a dystopian trilogy. I remained delightfully, wonderfully human, with zero risk of growing a third arm, which is really all I ask for in a multivitamin. Here is the next chapter of our nutrient narrative, exploring the playful, the practical, and the planet-saving. Adulting is exhausting. I pay bills, I schedule appointments, I pretend to understand tax forms. The least the universe can do is let me eat a little candy vitamin shaped like a bear. I chew the squishy, fruit-flavored bear, and for a brief moment, I am 7 years old again. The world is simple. My biggest worry is whether to eat the orange one or the strawberry one first. The answer is both. It's candy-coated self-care. Sure, they have slightly less potency than a hardcore capsule, but they have 100% more joy. I finish my daily dose feeling like I've tricked the system. I've taken my nutrients and I've had dessert, and nobody can stop me. Adulting feels slightly less heavy when it comes with gummy sprinkles. I stood in the supplement aisle, paralyzed by choice. On one hand, the powder. It required measuring, mixing, and tasting something green that might be grass. On the other hand, the capsule. It required nothing but a glass of water and a functioning throat. I felt like I was being asked to choose between two lovers in a telenovela. But unlike a soap opera, nobody fainted, and there was no long-lost twin. I realized the truth. Both are valid. Powder is for the days when I want to feel like a wellness influencer, blending my emerald concoction and sipping it with superiority. Capsule is for the days when I want to simply swallow my vitamins and move on with my chaotic existence. The debate is not life or death, it's just lunch preferences. I rotate between the two, keeping the drama low and the flexibility high. I used to throw away plastic bottles without thinking. Then I watched a documentary about turtles, and now I can't look at a non-recyclable cap without crying. I needed my supplements to come in something I could feel good about. I needed sustainable packaging. Finding a glass jar with a compostable label felt like receiving a small eco-trophy. "Good job," the packaging whispered. "The earth thanks you." It wasn't just a bottle, it was a statement. I was hugging a tree with every pill I swallowed. My thumbs up count with the planet increased significantly. I felt smug in the best possible way. When I throw the empty container into the correct bin, I experience a microburst of joy. It's not world-changing, but it's world-nudging, and that's enough for now. I don't want my multivitamin to have a villain origin story. I don't want to swallow a capsule and imagine orangutans crying somewhere in the distance. Palm oil is in everything, and its production has been linked to deforestation that makes my heart ache. I needed to break up with palm oil. I needed the rainforest rescue team. I started seeking out supplements with palm oil alternatives, coconut oil, shea butter, sunflower lecithin. These are the ingredients that didn't destroy a jungle to exist. Taking them feels like being on the right side of a nature documentary. I am no longer a silent accomplice in an environmental tragedy. I am a supporting character in a redemption arc. My conscience is lighter, my capsules are greener, and somewhere an orangutan swings freely through a tree that I did not personally help destroy. There's something poetic about a second chance, about a banana peel that was destined for the compost bin, suddenly realizing it has potential, about a juice pulp that thought it was garbage, only to be transformed into a superfood powder. These are the kitchen comeback kids. These are upcycled ingredients. I sprinkle the upcycled fiber onto my yogurt, feeling like I'm witnessing a fairy tale. "You were almost trash," I whisper to the powder. "But look at you now, your wellness." It's redemption in nutrient form. Taking upcycled supplements makes me feel like a part of something bigger, a circular economy where nothing is wasted and everything gets a glow up. If a fruit scrap can find purpose, then surely I can too. We are all just food waste trying to become something wonderful. I used to just swallow supplements without thinking about where they came from, but then I realized actual humans were involved, and I didn't want my wellness to be someone else's underpaid labor. Fair trade sourcing is the ethical handshake of my morning routine. When I buy fair trade, I imagine I'm reaching across the globe and shaking hands with the farmer who harvested my maca root. "Thank you," I say. "Here is a fair wage." It transforms a simple transaction into a moment of connection. I'm not just paying for vitamins, I'm paying it forward. My conscience feels lighter, my karma feels cleaner, and my smoothie tastes just a little bit sweeter knowing it didn't leave a bitter aftertaste in the supply chain. Some days I feel like a rubber band that's been stretched too far and lost its snap. The world pulls, and I just sort of stay stretched, limp, sad. I needed something to help me snap back. Emotional resilience nutrients are my inner bounce-back champions. They work quietly in the background, reinforcing my nervous system like scaffolding. When stress hits, a flat tire, a snarky email, a dropped piece of toast, I don't crumble. I wobble, sure, but I stay standing. "We got you," the magnesium whispers. "Bounce back," the B vitamins cheer. I feel more elastic, more durable. I'm not unbreakable, but I'm definitely bendier. And in this life, flexibility is everything. I have friends who give great pep talks. "You're a star," they say, and I appreciate it really. But sometimes my brain chemistry is like, "That's nice, but I'm still sad." I needed a pep talk that worked on a molecular level. Mood-boosting supplements are natural pick-me-ups that outshine most verbal encouragement. I take a saffron extract, and it's like someone turned up the dimmer switch in my brain. The gloom lifts just enough to see the furniture. It's subtle, not a marching band, but a gentle hum of optimism. It doesn't fix my problems, but it makes them look solvable. It's the difference between staring at a mountain and thinking impossible versus thinking, "I might need good boots." And honestly, having the right boots makes all the difference. My stomach and my brain used to have a terrible communication style. My brain would panic about a deadline, and my stomach would immediately scream, "Evacuate the dance floor." It was chaotic. They were sending distress signals via smoke signals and carrier pigeons. I needed a better connection. Gut-brain axis support is the two-way hotline between my tummy and my noggin. It installs a fiber optic cable for crisis counseling. Now, when my brain starts to spiral, my gut chimes in calmly. We are fed, we are safe, no need for nausea. And when my gut feels off, my brain responds, understood, we will drink tea and rest. The panic gets de-escalated before it becomes a meltdown. They are finally on the same page, co-parenting me through the stress of existence. I am a competitive eater in a competition of one. My goal? Inhale lunch before the next Zoom meeting. The result? Indigestion and a vague sense of emptiness. I treated food like fuel at a pit stop. Fast, efficient, forgettable. I needed to slow down. Mindful eating is the chew with purpose technique. I put my phone down, the hardest part. I look at my sandwich. I take a bite. I chew. Chew, chew. It turns the meal into a mini meditation session. Hello, texture, I think. Hello, flavor. My anxiety, which usually runs at 100 miles per hour, is forced to slow down to the speed of my jaw. It's grounding. It's quieting. For 20 minutes, I am not a worker bee. I am a human being enjoying sustenance. And weirdly, the food tastes better when I actually notice I'm eating it. I want my bones to be strong, but I don't want the drama. Dairy and I have a complicated relationship involving tummy aches and ethical debates, and frankly, I'm tired of the conflict. I needed a support system that didn't talk back. I found vegan calcium. Usually sourced from algae, it's the quiet, rock-solid partner my skeleton has been waiting for. I take the tablet and feel a sense of structural relief. We are building a fortress, the calcium whispers to my femurs, and we don't need a cow to do it. It keeps my bones dense and my conscience clear. I walk taller now, knowing that my posture is supported by plants and minerals that mind their own business. I am sturdy, I am drama-free, and I am fairly certain that if I tripped, I wouldn't break. I'd just bounce. My face loves to host a theatrical production called The Breakout, usually opening the night before a big event. It's a tragedy. A pimple will take center stage and demand a monologue. I was tired of being the supporting actor in my own life. I needed a stage manager. I needed vegan zinc. Zinc is the guy in the black headset who stands in the wings. When a blemish tries to step into the spotlight, Zinc extends a long hook and yanks it off stage. Exit stage left, Zinc commands. We are doing a show about glow tonight. It nudges the inflammation away and clears the set. With Zinc running the production, my skin feels calm and professional. The reviews are in and the critics agree. My face is finally a drama-free zone. My anxiety is like static electricity. I walk around zapping everything I touch, hair standing on end, sticking to things I shouldn't. I felt charged, but in a bad way. I needed to be grounded. I needed a magnet. I needed vegan magnesium. It pulls relaxation toward me with an irresistible force. I take it in the evening and suddenly the frantic energy dissipates. Magnesium attracts the concept of chill and wraps it around me like a weighted blanket. Come here, peace, it beckons. Come here, sleep. I feel heavy in the best possible way, grounded, magnetic, and stuck to my sofa. I am no longer a walking static shock. I am a fridge magnet of serenity, holding up a picture of a very napping cat. Let's be honest, a meltdown is a meltdown, whether it happens because I ran a 5K or because I watched a video of a baby elephant making friends with a duck. Both result in the loss of precious fluids. I felt drained. I felt like a dry sponge. I needed the squad. I needed vegan electrolytes. I poured the powder into my water bottle and the water turned a festive pink. This is the cleanup crew for my dehydration. They rush into my system with mops and buckets of potassium and sodium. She's crying again, they shout. Replenish the salt, stat. They don't judge the source of the dehydration, they just fix it. Within minutes, I perk up, my spirit reinflates, I am hydrated, I am balanced, and I am ready for the next emotional or physical hurdle, fully stocked with tears and sweat to spare. I aspire to be the kind of person who harvests their own kale at dawn. In reality, I am the kind of person who watches kale rot in the fridge while eating toast. I felt a disconnect between my garden dreams and my carb reality. I needed a bridge, I needed the greens powder. It tastes like I licked a lawnmower, but in a virtuous way. I drink the emerald sludge, and suddenly I transform. I am a sprouted hero. I am photosynthesis. I whisper to my computer screen. I am one with the chlorophyll. It's a garden in a scoop. My cells feel like they are wearing tiny capes made of spinach. I may not have a green thumb, but I have a green gut, and that gives me the confidence to walk through the produce aisle with my head held high, knowing I have technically eaten my veggies today. I'm diving into these 5 vegan supplements one at a time in a light-hearted novel style, just like I'm chatting with my best friend over herbal tea. First up is the vegan omega-3 capsules. They're like a party for my brain cells, sparking up all the good vibes. Next, those vegan DHA EPA supplements, they help my thoughts surf through waves of serenity. Vegan multivitamins? They're the ultimate emotional wellness shop for anyone who can't decide. Then we have the vegan B complex, practically a therapy session for those 8 B vitamins, reminding me that friends make everything easier. Finally, the vegan iron supplements are my secret weapon against energy dips, transforming them from pesky nuisances to faint echoes of the past. This journey through plant-powered wellness is both uplifting and amusing. I used to think my brain was running on dial-up, thoughts loading slowly, connections dropping in the middle of an important conversation. Then I found vegan omega-3 capsules. These are the fish-free brain food made from algae that keep my neurotransmitters chatting up a storm of good vibes. I pop one in the morning, and suddenly my brain feels like a busy cafe full of friendly baristas hand-delivering serotonin and dopamine lattes. Instead of hearing crickets between my thoughts, I hear smooth jazz. My ideas flow effortlessly, and I have actual mental bandwidth left over to remember where I put my keys. I have surfed emotional waves before, mostly wipeouts of anxiety and stress. I crave the calm, effortless glide of a perfect wave ride. Enter vegan DHA EPA supplements. Sourced from microalgae, they're the sea-friendly mood lifters that let my mind surf calm emotional waves. I slip one under my tongue, imagining I'm paddling out at dawn. Within days, the internal tsunami of what-ifs transforms into gentle rollers of contentment. I still get minor worry ripples, but nothing I can't ride without wiping out. It's like having a mental surf instructor whispering, "Lean into the balance," while I catch the perfect wave of tranquility. I am the world's worst indecisive shopper. I stand in supplement aisles for 10 minutes, paralyzed between bottles of B12 and containers of zinc. Then I discovered vegan multivitamins, the one-stop emotional wellness shop for indecisive nutrient shoppers like me. One pill covers my bases: iron, B vitamins, vitamin D, you name it. It's like hiring a concierge for my cells. I take it with breakfast and feel a subtle welcome aboard pat on the back from every system in my body. No more supplement guilt trips, just a smooth, well-stocked day that lets me focus on important decisions, like which song do I add to my happy playlist? My B vitamins used to be a dysfunctional family, B1 sulking in a corner, B6 gossiping with serotonin, B12 wandering off to nap. I realized they needed group therapy. That's when I started a vegan B complex. Suddenly, riboflavin and niacin held hands with folate and biotin in perfect harmony. They gather round my bloodstream, sharing coenzyme-level support. It's a heartwarming banquet of biochemical cooperation. Energy pathways light up, stress levels dial down, and my mood feels like it's getting the best group hug imaginable. Adulting becomes possible without feeling like I've been dropped in the deep end of a hormonal pool. I've been ghosted before, not in a dramatic rom-com way, more in the "this brand will not tell me what's in this powder" way. I'd pick up a supplement and read the label like it was a cryptic text from an ex: proprietary blend, natural flavors, other ingredients. Other ingredients? Sir, that is not a personality. Then I started buying clean label products, and it felt like dating someone who actually communicates. A clean label is an ingredient diary. It tells you where it's been, what it's doing, and why it's in your life. No evasive language, no shady fillers lurking in the background like uncredited extras. When I take a clean label supplement, I don't feel anxious, I feel informed. And honestly, information is very soothing. It's hard to spiral into "what did I just ingest" when the label is basically saying, "Here's the whole truth, bestie." Sometimes I imagine nutrients as delicate little houseplants. I bring them home, and within minutes they're wilting under the harsh fluorescent lighting of my digestive tract. Acid, enzymes, time. My stomach is basically an intense reality show called "So You Think You Can Survive Digestion." Nano-encapsulation is like putting those fragile nutrients into tiny bubble-wrap pajamas. The nutrient gets its own protective bubble, floats through the chaos, and arrives intact, like a baby chick delivered safely through a crowd. It doesn't feel aggressive or high-tech scary. It feels like a reassuring head pat from science. There, the nanobubble whispers. No one's gonna rough you up before you reach the cells. And in return, my body actually gets what I paid for. Plus, I get the emotional comfort of knowing my vitamins aren't being mugged in a dark digestive alley. Some supplements feel like they're trying to get into my cells on foot, in the rain, carrying a suitcase with one wheel that doesn't work. It's noble, but inefficient. I wanted my nutrients to travel with dignity. I wanted them to arrive refreshed, not traumatized. Liposomal delivery is the nutrient limo service. The vitamin gets chauffeured around in a fancy fat bubble, tinted windows up, sipping sparkling water. It pulls up to my cells like, hello, I have an appointment. My cell membrane opens the door like a hotel concierge. Right this way, sir. It's smooth, it's classy, it's the VIP treatment my frazzled body deserves. Emotionally, it makes me feel cared for, like even my vitamin C is being treated to a luxury commute. I'm a person who does not enjoy surprises, especially not the kind where I feel fantastic for 45 minutes and then crash like a toddler after birthday cake. Some supplements are like dramatic TV episodes, huge opening scene, shocking middle, and then suddenly, black screen, no closure, no credits, just me, tired again. Time-release formulas are paced nutrient storytellers. They unfold like a cozy novel instead of a chaotic thriller. The nutrients come out in chapters, a little now, a little later, and no cliffhanger where my energy disappears mid-sentence. My mood stays steadier, like someone turned my day into a gentle, well-edited playlist instead of a random shuffle of panic and naps. I don't feel boosted as much as supported, which is honestly the emotional tone I'm always going for. My stomach is opinionated. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's like, actually, I'm going to destroy this nutrient for sport. So when I discovered sublingual supplements, especially for B12, I felt like I'd found the secret tunnel into a castle. I place the tablet under my tongue and wait like I'm in a spy movie. Sublingual supplements are under-tongue secret agents. They skip the stomach commute, bypass traffic, and slide directly into circulation like they have diplomatic immunity. It's faster, quieter, and makes me feel like a person who has their life together enough to have methods. Emotionally, it's empowering. I'm not begging my digestion to cooperate. I'm simply choosing a more direct route, like sending a calm email instead of starting a group chat war.